Right, so I'm going to put together a little guide of what I've done to create the keys for these locks. So this is the RKB 222. The one that I've already posted was the 221. So once you've got it picked, I'm going to keep tension on, because when I did this with the other lock, when I was taking it apart, the lock snapped back closed, and obviously I didn't have a way of keeping the lock open, so I've left a tension wrench in there. So you undo this grub screw that's in the side of the lock, and that allows the shackle to come out. And then from there, in here should be a spring, and yep, what I had to do to get that out was use a pick, put it down inside, get onto the side of the spring, and then we can remove that. Get this little parts box that I got off Slot Picker, just so we don't lose any pieces. Put that in there, just like that. There's the ball bearing out of the shackle, and then down in the bottom of this, I'll just put my torch down. There's a gunked up screw, which is exactly what was in the other one. So what I did, I just got a pick, put it down inside there, and you get all the gunk on it, just wipe it on a tissue. So I'll spend a little minute doing that now, and I'll bring you back for the next step. Right, so what I've done is the only screwdriver I can get to fit down that shaft was off a bicycle lock, like bicycle companion. It's a little cross-headed screw right down in there, and then on the underside you have this little brass pin looking thing which should pop out. It doesn't want to. There we go, pop that out. So that's just like the shackle retaining. It should have, right, because it's all gunked up, but there should be a little ball bearing inside there as well. So the problem I've got now is trying to keep the tension on while trying to do that, which I don't think is going to happen. No, that just wants to full send back. Let's see if we put that in there. Right, okay. We'll put the shackle in there. Hopefully now this will release. So you have to take this bottom plate off, which was a pain yesterday with the other one, because the lock had become slightly deformed. So it was a real tight fit. There we go. As you can see how dirty that is underneath. Absolutely minging. They've all pretty much turned up like that. So then there we go. That's the core out, with the spring still in place in the back. Take that off there, and we'll just push that spring might have to have a little play with that one in a bit. Just get that spring back up to the top side, as well as the actuator that sits in the back of there. So what I'm going to do now, strip that one down, get that set back up, and then I'll bring you back in a little bit. Right, so as you can see there, clean this brass plate face plate up a bit. Looks a bit nicer now. Hopefully you'll be able to see, I don't know how well, but just inside there is a little metal ball bearing which stops the screw from bottoming out. Put the screw back inside there just to stop that going missing. I'll put that in the little parts box as well. So next, taking the C-clip off there, it has a little like dimple sort of thing in the middle to stop it being able to rotate, but it is a little bit awkward to get off, but it is doable at the same time. So I'll do that and then show you the pins. Right, so that's the clip that was on it. With the little bit that sticks out in it. And then the follower that I'm using, I've had to, I don't know again how well you'll see it, I had to shave a little bit off it, off this 3D printed one. Just because of how tight it is on the back of the lock. Hopefully we'll get this done in one go. Might have to shave a little bit more off this one. Yeah, looks like this one's even tighter than the other one. Right, so I'll file a little bit more and bring you back. Right, so I had a bit of a gutting disaster. I was taking a bit more material off this and it ended up snapping off. So ended up straightening this up a little bit more in the car and trying to use this, which did work until I pushed it a bit more and it ended up straightening up and locking up. But anyway, we've got it open. So now if we grab the 221 key and stick it in, you can see actually there's not that much of a difference, just pin 4 sits a little bit lower, probably like 1 cut lower. Just push down on all the pins just to make sure. So yeah, by the looks of it, pin 4 sits the tiniest little bit lower. So at least we got a good base for making the other key. Yeah, so we just need to remember, make it like this one, but pin 4654, which is this deeper one here, wants to be a little bit higher, and we should be there. So start making that key and see how we get on. But look at that tissue, that's just from cleaning one lock. I've not even like gone inside there, that's just from cleaning the car, this bit and that retaining screw. Absolutely manker. Not only that, the smell of them, it's like a diesel-y smell. So I don't know if that's what they've been using to keep them lubed up or what, but we'll find something better and get rid of all this grime that's been building up inside them. So let's make a start on the next key, and once I'm getting somewhere with it, oh, there's the spring I was telling you about again, pretty grimy. I'll try and get that dropped back in where it needs to be. Yeah, once I've got the key roughly where I need it, I'll bring you back and show you how I got there. And show you now where the spring wants to be as well. There we go. Right, make a start on this key. I'll bring you back soon. Right, so what I've done here is I've put the key I've already hand filed in the vise and put a blank key behind it so I can try and replicate the cuts. That's my plan on doing it without hopefully destroying the original key and going too deep. So hopefully it works and we'll have a working key very soon. Right, so now I've got that key to a rough sort of shape, what we'll do now is put the pins back in here, because we know that pin 4 is a little bit different. I've not shaved that much off that one. And we can just get it in here and file it to suit. So this is the original key for the other locks. There we go. So as you can see, pin 4 sits a little bit low. This is the one I've just made. And so still needs a little bit of work, as you can see. Pin 3 bob on. 1 and 2 need a little bit shaving off, and 4, 5, 6 need a bit shaving off, but it definitely works, or it's getting there at least. So stick that back in there, this back in the vise. It's just a case of trial and error now, so round file, 4, 5 and 6 need a little work. I think it was 1 that needed a little bit as well, weren't it? Let's stick it back in. So 4 is getting a lot closer there. 5 and 6 still need a little bit more to go. Oh. Pin 5 decided to try and leave the chat. So there we go. 3, 4, 5 are almost there now. I'll keep working at it. And I'll bring you back shortly once it's done. Right, so we've got this key exactly where we want it now. Well, as I say that, it won't come out now because the cuts are exactly as we want them to the depths, but now they just need rounding off slightly because they're a bit too sharp. Oh, come on. Tell you what, do it the easy way. as you see there, keys cut. Just need to file these a little bit nicer, and then that key should slide nicely in and out like this one does. Just beautiful. That could probably have some work done as well, but it's fine the way it is. So get them done, get it repopulated, and get it back together. Right, so as you can see, I've got the car back in the Bible, and there's the key that I've just cut. Put that in there. Works beautiful. So now I'll get the C-clip onto the back of it. So that's why. So on the other one, the C-clip was in the top, but on this one, for some reason, it's got like an extra pin in there. So on this one, it's gonna have to go into the bottom, just like that. And it's gonna have to be squeezed, because when it's come off, it's got a little bit bigger. So maybe this is a replacement clip, and it's been rekeyed or something, I'm not sure. But anyway, it is what it is. It's in there now. So stick that in. No, I can't get the key all the way in. That's a bit stupid. The key butts up against the back of it. But this is why we try it out at every stage. So that means we have to shave a little bit off here. I also have a feeling we might have to take that shoulder off like we did with the other key. A little bit closer. And there we go. I'll probably still take a little bit more off it. Oh, why is that just bricked? And there comes a pin. Oh, no way. Why is that just bricked? Bring you back soon. Right, so the reason it bricked is because of these holes on the bottom. What happened was, when I turned the car upside down, because the lock was upside down, these two pins in 5 and 6 managed to fall through the hole. So anyway, at least I know not to repeat that one. So from there, what we can do is come over to the lock. We'll put the key in there, turn it a little bit so we line it up with that actuator in the back. Out there. Right, so because of the key, I can't do that yet, because what it's doing is it's putting pressure on this C-clip on the back. Before I do that, I'm going to take some more meat off the back of the key, and then we'll carry on. Right, so after a little bit of fiddly work, I've managed to get the cylinder back in. One of the things you've got to watch for is the ball bearing, shackle retaining ball bearing that sits inside there. When you take this out, the actuator underneath, that rotates and pushes the ball bearings on either side out. One on this side goes in through the top and drops into the little recess there, and then when you put the shackle in and tie that in, that keeps it in place. But the one on this side has a channel drilled into it and it'll pop out underneath the actuator. So we've got that back in anyway, and then next thing to do is to put this retaining plate in. No, it's not. Talking gobbledygook. Oh yeah, it is, yeah. So then next thing to do is we get our screw and this. Remember, there's a little ball bearing in here, so what I do is I do it that way to make sure I don't lose the ball bearing. Hold it like that, drop our screw in, give it a couple of taps to try and find itself, and we'll get our screwdriver, or in my case big multi-tool, couple of threads backwards first, just so we don't cross thread it. It feels alright. And we don't really want to tighten it, but not over tighten it. Obviously the ball bearing will stop us doing that anyway. Alright, so that's in there. Now we've got that in, we can put the key in. We can try. Why is that not going in? There we go. Right, so that works perfectly fine. That shoulder catches ever so slightly as we're putting it in, so I might just take a little bit of that off to give us that smoothness that we want. But it does go in and it works fine. So next job is spring down in there, and then turn this on its side very gently. You just might be able to see there the check if you can see it, probably not. There's my torch there. The ball bearing sits right on top, and then when we turn the key, that ball bearing will drop into the housing. We can push the shackle in just like that, and then there it is. Get the Allen key, and again you don't want to do this up too tight, because if you do the shackle won't move. See, not done it too tight, but if you do it too tight, you won't get much movement on that. Why is this not going down? There we go. And pull that. Some of these are a bit stiff to get in and out, so I might look at that. But I think it's, if you look at that, the shackles hitting this outside wall here. So I'm going to squeeze it then. That worked a lot better. It might just be that it needs a little bit of manipulation to work that little bit better. Yeah, a little bit easier there. But anyway, that's how we do our key. And that's how you strip and put these locks back together. So thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. If you're not already, please subscribe, and I will see you next time. Cheers.